What's good, everyone? It's the one and only NY Phenom. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some gaming content in the near future, give this video a like. If you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Now let's go ahead and get into this video. Alright, so in this video, I just want to speak on how the KD injury, how it affects the upcoming offseason for the New York Knicks. And with this KD injury, now it hasn't been fully confirmed that it's a full ruptured Achilles, but like every single time I see the video, like every time I just see it, it looks just like a ruptured Achilles. So worst case scenario is a ruptured Achilles. Maybe, hopefully, it's not as bad, or the injuries as bad as the ruptured Achilles. But that's just how I feel about it. But how it affects the all season, it definitely affects the all season for sure for us. The entire plan was, trade for AD and then sign KD in the upcoming all season. But with him possibly rupturing Achilles, and ruptured Achilles is really bad, man. Pretty much ended Kobe's career early. This in all sports, man. D'Angelo Hall, he didn't come back the same after he ruptured his Achilles. It's pretty much the worst injury you can get in sports. So usually a ruptured Achilles, the whole entire recovery time, it usually takes a full year. So my speculation is, if it is a full-on ruptured Achilles, he's probably not going to play the upcoming season. So the thing is, should we sign KD just for him to sit out the full year? And that changes a lot of things, because this offseason, the first priority was to trade for AD, and we had to get that done by this offseason, But with KD being injured, that kind of changes everything about this upcoming offseason, man, because when we trade for AD, we give up the third overall pick and a few young players, some young talent. It kind of puts us in a win-now situation. And with KD missing a full-on year, that's a year that we pretty much not in full contention in the East. It just changes a lot, and man, it's very unfortunate, man. I know a lot. KD is definitely one of the most hated players in the NBA. It is what it is. That's just what comes with it. But you never want to see injury, man, or anyone, man. Even your worst enemy, man. You never want to wish injury on anyone, man. The fact that there was some fans that were happy about it is pretty sick. But we gotta salute the fans that were showing that love to KD. Cheering his name. And we really hope the best for KD, man. And that's not even me saying that as a Knicks fan. Just as KD as an individual in his own right. But it changes a lot of things. I'm kind of conflicted because I think we have to get AD, man. AD, like I said all the time, he's a once-in-a-generation player, man. You can't pass up on Anthony Davis, man. In my opinion, like I say all the time, he has potential to be the best player in the NBA, point blank. And he's proven that so many different times. But Scott Perry and the management, they got a tough decision to make this all season. Now I did see that article, and I read the article that was posted that the New York Knicks were one of the three teams that said that they would still sign him to a long-term deal, but and see, I'm just so conflicted because, like we all know, KD is 30 years old. He's going to turn 31 this upcoming season. And if it's a full-on ruptured Achilles, which it looked like, then he'll pretty much miss his whole entire. He wouldn't come back until he's 32 years old, and then you have to kind of play yourself into shape after you get an injury like that. So even when he comes back, we probably wouldn't expect him to be 100% right away, because that's for everyone. Everyone that came back with a ruptured Achilles, even Dominique Wilkins, it took him some time to get into groove, and he's one of the most notorious athletes to ever come back from that type of injury so successfully. You know what I'm saying? But it made things real interesting. I'm still kind of conflicted about it, because I'm not sure if we should do that, because we all know how this injury is really going to affect him like that. Now the thing is, KD has never been a player that plays above the rim. He always gets his points, as a perimeter jump shooter, goes in the low post, gets in that mid-range area. He really gets his buckets pretty easily. So there was a player that could come from this injury successfully. I think KD could do that. But just the fact that he ruptured his Achilles, I mean, it's still going to be pretty difficult to come back, no matter what your play style is, But it's a really tricky situation. I kind of have a feeling that KD might accept this player option, this return for the Warriors, for his last year on his deal. Which, as a Knicks fan, that's not the best news you want to hear, but that's just kind of how I feel about this situation. I don't get why he would sign with another team with this injury when he can still get his $31 million a year this upcoming season, while getting himself in shape to be on the same team that he's played for the past 3 years, and getting his groove over there. But there's a lot of things that come with that, man. I know I saw the article that also said that KD last option would be accepting the player option. So I guess he's all in on testing the free agency, but I don't know, man. It's just a really tricky situation. But at the same time, maybe he doesn't want to return to Golden State with how the team doctors, who knows how all that went. We don't know if the GM was pretty much forcing him to get back on the court, or was, or it could have been anyone, coaches, or he just decided to go because he wanted to go. I mean, if I had to, make my own opinion on what I think happened is, they're down 3-1. It was a win-or-go-home situation in the NBA Finals. And KD's a competitor. He's a real competitor, one of the greats of the game. And he's just gonna pour his all on the court now, and that's what I feel that happened. Even though he wasn't 100% clear to play, you live with the consequences, man. You live with the outcome, man. That's what he did. But my only thing is, But my only thing is, if he comes back, or if he decides to go to a team like the New York Knicks and decides to join us, if we were to sign KD, that pretty much means that we would have traded for Anthony Davis, and that would put us pretty much in a win-out situation. With us being in a win-out situation with Anthony Davis, everybody, the organization, the fans, the New York media, everyone will be trying to rush him to come back, before he's ready to come back and play. So, I mean, he's pretty much put in a tough situation. And yeah, it's real tricky. It's really tricky. It's tricky for everything. It's pretty much changed everything that's going on with the off-season, for this upcoming off-season. My thoughts is he just stays with the Warriors. I mean, that just makes the most sense if I was in KD's situation. But who knows how he's going to look at this. Maybe he's confident that he can get his rehab, he can recover earlier than what most athletes recover in the ruptured Achilles, and that's just speculations. I'm not saying, like, throughout this whole entire video, I really hope it's not ruptured Achilles. I hope it's something less severe, but the injury did look crucial. He's definitely not coming back. I even heard some people say that he might come back for like Game 7 if they win Game 6. Cut it out. He's not coming back for this series. And we just all gotta hope that, KD is ready to play midway through next season. That would be like the best case scenario. He's back fully healthy, looking like Kevin Durant, looking like one of the top players in the NBA. But as a Knicks fan, it just changed everything. I still think that we need to trade. We need to trade for Anthony Davis. Any way possible, I think we still need to do that. If KD is still in our future plans, I think we should look at that pretty carefully. And if we're going to go full on the Anthony Davis and KD duo for the next who know what, then we gotta look at that carefully, because it's now becoming a thing where KD, he's starting. I don't want to be rude to the subject, but he's starting to become a little bit injury prone. For you guys that just or haven't been watching basketball for that long, KD, he did break his foot in 2015. So, yeah, I mean, that's that. But for right now, hopefully it's not ruptured Achilles. But that's just what it looks like right now. But how I feel about it, I'm just kind of conflicted, man, because there's other free agents we can go after, not named KD. But I think Anthony Davis is our first priority. We need to trade for Anthony Davis, no matter the outcome. And then there's other free agents out there to look for, man. I wouldn't mind having a Jimmy Butler on this team. Who's the other free agent that's there? You got DeMarcus Cousins, who pretty much is that same boat of injury prone that I really wouldn't want to mess with. Klay Thompson, in my opinion, staying in Golden State. I know Kyrie is the biggest thing, but like I stated in most videos, I think Kyrie is just going to Brooklyn. I just think that is where it is. And if he wasn't going to Brooklyn, then in my opinion, he's going to the Lakers. Which I know a lot of Knicks fans, a lot of my fellow Knicks fans don't want to hear that. But look, I guess this is considered a hot take. I really don't consider it a hot take. But I think Dennis Smith Jr. by next year is going to be an all-star caliber player. I think that's the reason why I'm not so big on getting a star point guard. Yeah, like other free agent like Kemba Walker. I know a lot of people think that Kemba Walker might show up, definitely with him being a Queens native. But like, I think Dennis Smith Jr. is the future and the present. He's going to be an all-star caliber player next year, and we pair him with an Anthony Davis for the next who know what. I think we're set. And if we can get a player like Jimmy Butler, I think that would be the best case scenario. I'm hesitant on giving Kevin Durant a max deal with him possibly rupturing his Achilles. But you know what? That's all I'm really going to speak on this video. I'm going to leave it like that. Hopefully KD, he isn't as injured as it looks like, but you know, we'll see what's good. But that's pretty much all I really want to say. If you guys enjoy NFL, NBA content, want to see some gaming content in the near future, give this video a like, and if you're new, go and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. I'm the phenomenal one, and I'm out. Deuces.